Hi guys, I think I'm live and I've just figured out that there is roughly 15 seconds, even a low latency delay between my actions here and what comes through to the YouTube live. So it always worries me about the end cutoff, as I'm never sure I get that right. But hopefully you can hear me. The microphone is in. I can see the voice going up and down. So yeah, I need to find the reference photo. It is open somewhere. There we go. And I need to turn it back. And we're trying to figure out what part I'm going to do on this live feed. And I'm thinking I might do this portion of the sleeve because I thought it might be good for you to see how I work pan pastel on smooth and then add the colour pencil on top. I don't know if that's of any help to you. Hi Joe, hi Georgina, how are you both? But I think that's probably where I'm gonna go. But what I need to do, hi Wendy, welcome. What I need to do is I need to adjust and work out from the pan pastel and the pencil colours to get as close to the reference as I can. Looking at it fresh eyes today, this glove is still a little bit on the greener side. It still needs to be a bit grayer, I think. Hi Dan, hi Ben. How is everybody? I had such a bad night that as soon as I ate my tea, I literally fell asleep. So I woke up when I said to my kid, please wake me up when it gets to like 7 o'clock, and she did, bless her, and then I fell back asleep. So I literally woke up about 25 minutes ago. So tired eyes. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, we're getting there with it. There's still a lot of work to be done. But I'm trying to speed up some of the process, which is why I'm looking at introducing the pan pastel. But I have an awful feeling I don't have a lot in the way of green. I honestly... turquoise, so that's not going to be any good. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, it's too blue. I need something that's really earthy, so I might end up having to pick and mix. I have a sneaky suspicion I don't have. They're all blues. They're yellows. Chromox green. Oh, actually, that's not bad. That might be the green to go for. So, let me grab my pencils. I need to test on a piece of paper really first to make sure I get it to the tone that I want. And I used to have a whole wedge of scrap paper. It's 12 by 12. Hey, Mike. I'm going to get that wrong. It is Mike, isn't it? Yes. How are you? And thank you. Well, I've got some paper here. Is she not doing well? I'm going to nudge it out of the way because I don't want to get any of the tests. So these are pretty much the pencils that I'm using at the moment, but we're going to have to really grey it out. Do you want me to put the reference up on the screen? Would that be... no, it's actually... the old ones I did were 4x4. So 12 by 12 is like the size of one of those craft pads you get. Do you want me to put... shall I do that? Shall I put the reference up? Let's put the reference up. Let me... should have done this first. I don't know why I didn't think to do it. Right, it's going to be like really big in your face, like massive. I just need to adjust it, so bear with. I've purposely left the raindrops off. I'm going to put it there so I don't think it's in the way then. Now bearing in mind there's going to be a difference in lighting between the two, so I just essentially need to just practice getting it down. But I thought it might be useful for you guys to see how you can blend the pan pastel with the pencil, hopefully. Yeah, it is big paper for a change, so it's actually nice because the last 2 watches I did for him were done on 4x4 inches, so they were really small. To give you an idea, that's 6x6. I did 4x4 and I did 2 watches. So let's see. I've got too many things open, I can't tell. Right, there you go. Just gonna, this might do me a favour as well because I think it's going to help add to the texture. I've just done a portrait from the Colour and Chicks. I've been scouring the net for a background. What, for a different type of background for you to add? Hi Evie. Yes, not easy for you at the moment, is it, Joe? I actually think that this is going to be a good solution. I think I might need to turn my camera up. So that's probably too bright now. I don't think I can get that any lower. I know, oh no, I can get that a tiny bit lower. I don't know. Possibly. Oh, bless you, Erica. No worries. Right, I'm going to put to one side the colours that I have used because I did this last time when I did the other side of the glove and I kept forgetting the order in which I did things. Which is obviously no good. That's too grey, I think. Oh no, potentially not, actually. I think that could work. And I want to keep it really quite loose because I want that texture. I've got a lighter version of that. Let me... Oh, don't mix the colours up. I haven't guaranteed that one yet. So what sort of background? This sort of stuff's actually very good for backgrounds. Or you could just do like a really loose watercolour splashy effect. I like doing those for backgrounds. So I think if I do 2 or 3 layers like this, that I think we're going to be there. So let's have another go. I don't like to mix the pastel in the middle because it can sometimes sit on top of the wax and give it an odd colour. I think this lighter one will work better. One more patch with the green and we'll see how we get on. What do you think? I think that will probably... Oh, hello, camera didn't like that. Sorry, guys. Let me zoom you in a bit. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And I think... Trouble is the camera washes out what you see here. So this is actually darker in real life than the camera is showing. It's really frustrating because it's so hard to get the lighting right when you do this. Right, so let's move all the pans that I don't need out of the way. Don't need those. And it's probably going to look a bit of a mess until I come to do this bit here, but I'm going to turn it to make it easier to spread the pan pastel without my hand getting all over it. So all I need to do is take some of this lined stuff away. And just we'll go with that, and all this is quite dark anyway, so if I just lightly go over that without losing bits and bobs. Oh, I know a few of you do, but if any of you know what the Colour Me Happy shows are, I'm on the 12th. If you want to come join us, it's either on the Facebook or YouTube. No, there is. There's a bit of... It's like... It's really hard to describe, but there is like a little tint of brown as you come down, which is why it's making it so hard to try and find like the exact colour. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to glaze as I go along. So whereas that might be a little bit too green, I wonder if... I can't put brown directly on top because it just won't work. The only other option really is a warmer grey. Luminance do one which might... So instead of using a warm grey, cold grey, that's still a bit too on the grey. Can't believe how much lighter it is, it's crazy. That's too dark, I think, yeah. I would have had all this sussed had I not fallen asleep, so I apologise. Why is it? As soon as I come onto these live feeds, I get an itchy nose. Oh. There you go, that's a bit closer, and that's adding the brownish beige on top. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, right, so these are the pencils I'm going to use. I've got the pan pastel, so we're just going to crack on with it then. Can you see? You can see, can't you? What that is on the paper. Only trouble with pan pastel on Bristol board is it shows up any imperfection. I know what that is. That sounds funny. So, you know when I always say that your natural oils, no matter how clean your hands are, hi Gary, that's what that is. So that is what I mean. Although we can't see it, it really does make a difference when you put your hands on your work. Hi Alyssa, I certainly do. How are you? I need to swap to a smaller brush. Are you working at the moment, Gary? I do like watching pan pastel. Using pan pastel actually. I do think that it's a really useful tool when it comes to speeding up the drawing process. And I don't use it a lot, but I do use it to my advantage. Oh, that's fairly clean. So in large areas like this, where if I was to sit here and do it with pencil, I would be sat here for probably 4 to 5 hours. And I've already spent 12 hours on the drawing. And especially for the background, because the background's really blurred out. So it's going to really help do the background. And I do think the combination of pencil and pan pastel work very well. And it's not the first time I've done this on his portrait, so is that your welcoming friendship, is it? Right, it goes all the way down into the corner, so we can. And the good thing is because it's got that bit of transparency, you don't lose your lines underneath. You would if you were using it on I've forgotten the name now. Shouldn't have done that. Clairefontaine. No. Yes. Pastel mat. Wow. Go to sleep for an hour and a bit and wake up not knowing where you are. This is such a good little brush set to use as well. I tend not to use it on the pastel mat. I mean, it's great if you want a really, really soft blend, but it creates so much fallout. Oh no, bless her. So it's inevitable you'll get it too. What does she do? Send her my well wishes, won't you? I was just going to moan there's damage on the paper, but it was my pencil lines. Okay, so that's got the bulk of it done. I think I'm going to add detail in first, otherwise it's just going to be a bit of a monotonous, boring feed for you guys. So at least if I'm working on some detail, you've got a bit of an idea of progression, I guess. It's just... I'll need a tissue. Is that because you can't cook? Genuine question. There we go. So that gets the base down ready. It always looks such a mess at this stage. And you can see the background is really, really blurry. So it's really going to help. Oh, this light reflection. There we go. Now I've just made the camera wobble. So let's go in and get some shadows in. Let's just sketch them in lightly. Thank you, Alyssa. Okay, let's bless him, he's still asleep, Lex. Hubby was on he's been on earlies the last couple of days. Earlies just completely do him in. So he's just like literally been conked out on the sofa. I know, my lovely, I know. That's why pot noodles were invented, wasn't it? Pasta and gravy. That was always a night out special, that was. Once we'd had a night out, we'd come home, cook up some pasta, cook up some sausages and have a ton of gravy. I'm just blocking in, well, not blocking in, but I guess marking in where the main detail's going to be. It's got like a meshy netting. I'm completely wrong with the shape. It's almost like diamonds, but I'm not sure. I guess I could just do what I can. It's really quiet in here. Hot dogs. Chish and Fips. I do a mean cup of soup. With croutons. You gotta have it with croutons. Just keep an eye out for the rash, Gary. I don't know how your wife would be affected, but keep an eye. Because it was horrendous. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. But I'm missing a line here. So in here, about here, I think. It's like a fold. And then there's like a really deep shadow in this bit. When I was doing the TikTok live the other day, I asked how many people hold their pencils right down here, and the amount of people that put their hands up. I don't know if you guys still do that, but I actually thought that said ice cream chicken soup. My kids used to be chicken noodle soup. That used to be her favourite. But the only soup Amelie will drink is literally either stuff I make, and she will only eat that in a very small portion, or tomato soup. My favourite thing, that's only because it's what my mum used to make me, and that is mashed potatoes and gravy. That used to be the get well food in our house. So you said you were nude colour pencils, Wendy. How are you finding them? Okay, so that gets... majority of that in. Yeah, but when you're ill, you couldn't really eat sausages. Like when I used to get really bad sore throats, I would always have mash and gravy. Right. Put aside the colours we're using for the lighter. Now we need to come in and do the shadows. So I'm going to use these darker greens to build up the shadows. And I want to build on them first. Because I want to give it the illusion. Plus I need to know how dark I need to go on the main fabric. Otherwise, if I don't do this, I'm going to end up either going too dark or not dark enough. Thank you, Wendy. We are getting there. So I'm just using a dark green, juniper green this is called, because it's got a slight grey hint to it. So it's not a true green, it's quite a toned green. Gary, if he has paid attention, and Dan actually, for this. I'm not sure how many times I've gone over this on the live feeds on YouTube. My patrons might remember what the difference between a tone and a hue is. Because us artists have a really bad habit of calling everything a tone, even though it's not. Oh, the last one I did. I probably shouldn't have done it, but they all came out of the woodwork, didn't they? Right, this underbit's definitely got more of a brown hint to it, and it's quite a different... There is a video in my playlist somewhere of a colour theory, and in there it explains everything, like the most basic stuff. So it's not intensive. And I have tried. Hi, Alyssa. You use Prismacolor, do you? Yeah, it's Lucasade, always Lucasade. So a tone is like when you say you want to tone something down, you add grey to it. When you want to saturate something, you add black to it, and when you want to desaturate, you add white to it, because you're making the colour lighter, so you're taking the colour away from it. A hue is a colour, a tone is to add grey. So us artists, when we're drawing, we're doing our videos, have a really bad habit of just saying tone for everything, but actually there's a vital clear difference between them. But a hue is a colour, a tone is added grey. So if I took green, that is the colour. If I add grey, that's the tone. Just to confuse you all, but yeah. So that's why we say tone it down, because you tone it down using the grey. Oh, I did it on a live feed the other day, so I was probably in your pocket at the time. Or you just weren't there. I think I'm not going to be overly fussy, really not. Just need to get the idea in that it's mesh. I got a question for you guys. It's totally off topic. And I know my friend doesn't watch these, so it's not a problem. I need some ideas of where to go to get a really nice pamper pack for men as well as women, because they have been through hell and back. Her other half hit his head at work really, really bad and ended up with a brain bleed. And then he had a mini stroke, and he's the same age as me. But he's done really, really well in hospital, and he's going to be coming home soon. So I want to treat them both to getting like just a nice pamper kit for them. It's got to be vegan. She is dead strict on that. So if any of you know anywhere where I can go, let me know. Just adding some more shadow in here, just to really, it looks a bit of a mess at this angle because there wasn't much else going on, but Groupon's a good idea actually. And Wowcher, it's the other one, isn't it? She's had to work through this entire thing as well. She actually works with special needs and vulnerable, mainly brain injury patients. She does like 24-hour shifts, or she used to. I think she's changed slightly now, but she used to do live-in caring over 24 hours. I thought you was telling Huey to tone it down. Tone it down, tone it down. I need some more green in there. We've got a little toddler as well. She's been working, and it's just, yeah, she's exhausted, and obviously he's not very well, so I want to be able to treat them a bit. Oh, bless you, Dan. Like, you always get the basic ones, like, I don't know, chocolate and bath bombs and things like that, but, you know, chocolate I have to be really careful with because she is a strict vegan. So, yeah, it's just trying to find something really fits both of them. But he's done really well. No worries, Wendy. Oh, dippy egg and soldiers. I tell you what I do like, a nice bit of crispy bacon in a freshly toasted muffin. Or a bagel. Sounds awful, but I'm so glad my dad got all of his hospital stay out of the way before all of this went down. Bye, Lissa. Hi, Norsna. Yeah, there's loads like that on Etsy. Oh, okay. I'll have to have a bit of a dig down later. tell you what those two have been through, just you could write a whole film about it. It's crazy. Mixing up the pencils, not staying with my choice. You can see how much work the pan pastel is going to take out of this though, can't you? I love bagels. Amelie really loves bagels. I think it's the novelty of it, and you can get them for really cheap in Aldi. But I absolutely love crispy bacon and crunchy toasted bagels with loads of butter. But she's been eating me out of house and home, so bagel with toast as well, or egg is really, really nice. I think that's too green. I need to find the green that is dark but not... Oh, you might do. It's more of a deeper green. There we go. Yeah. I had this thing when I was younger about melting Edam in the microwave, and eating it. You did not, Erica. Well done, you. Remind me what one you're doing, because I have forgotten. That's grey. I swear I had a different green. I probably won't go much later than 9:30 on this live feed, purely because me falling asleep after dinner was a big indicator. But I wanted to at least get this started. I know I've been doing quite a few TikTok live feeds lately, but the joy of doing those is that I can just literally put my phone on and I'm done, whereas this I have to upload OBS and camera and Logicam and everything else. So have you posted that? I don't remember seeing it. Finally get to draw a wolf after this. I'm looking forward to that. My angle's changed somewhere. That needs to tuck in a bit more. It's nice to finally use the paper to its advantage and use the texture. Hi Jules, thank you. How are you, lovely? What was the name of that game you said you started playing? I don't think it was the same as what the other person was telling us about. He was telling us about Valheim. Just be aware, if you put too much pan pastel down, you can fill in your tooth very quickly. So don't overdo the pan pastel. Right, see, we're starting to get a little bit of 3D happening now. Oh, it is Valheim. I thought you were doing another online. Is it an online? It's nothing like Warcraft, is it? It's a different type of game. Hi, Tough Cookie. Right, so we've got a little bit there, we've got a little bit there, got a bit there, and that's sort of all the creasing, I think. Somebody awake, or am I hearing things? Oh, he is awake. Bless him. Why is my internet playing? It keeps stop. Oh, I don't know. It might. I don't think it's my end. When I go on TikTok next, can you show a really close up of what I should expect my pencil work to look like? Well, do you want me to show you a close up now of what mine looks like? It's far from perfect. Thank you, Tough Cookie. Appreciate that. I can show you now. I know there's like a massive delay between you hearing what I'm saying, so I shall carry on until you say the word. Okay, that bit needs to go like that. Right, okay, I shall zoom in as close as I can. And then you can see the... Ow! Oh, I nearly squashed my finger in the arm. shift it that way. Zoom you in as far as I can go. I don't... Can I up my ISO? If I up my ISO, that's probably close to... Oh, maybe not. Hang on. Go back. There's no in between. It literally jumps from 800 to 1600. But that's what it looks like. Oh, bless you. No, it is far from perfect, honestly. But that gives you an idea. So what I'm doing here is I'm working towards adding the colour, but trying to keep some of the texture at the same time. So on here I can get away with leaving the gap in, so you can see how textured that is in comparison to that. And I have said that once I've done the surrounding area, I don't know how much I'm going to go back over the watch to smooth it again, but I don't want to over burnish it, otherwise I'm going to end up with bloom, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, honestly, if you're finding yours still patchy, you just need to keep layering, but keep your layering light. Don't go in too heavy too quickly. I think by layer 5 to 6, you should be able to start in the sense of putting a bit of pressure on, but don't start putting pressure on until you're at least level 5 or 6. I mainly use polychromos. But I do use some luminance and some Pablos, but my pencil of choice is polychromos. Need to clean that word. Because over the years, I mean, honestly, I cannot stress enough how much muscle memory takes over. Let's move that out of the way a minute. I'm really enjoying WoW now, Torghast mainly, but I never really get involved in the guild, so over the years I have taught myself sort of, no matter how I'm colouring, I can always generally get a really smooth blend. So this is right up the pencil, very little control when you're up this end of the pencil, which is why you're able to layer so lightly. So even if I come down and add some pressure, I'm still able to keep my shading really even. So if I come down again and do it again, come down again, in fact that's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So that is how you should effectively be doing it. So you should be going from this around to this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your 6th, you start adding pressure. On your 7th, you start adding pressure. Nice. There are tons of how-to videos, and there is actually a tutorial, Tough Cookie, that you can follow. It's a 1 hour 20, 1 hour 18 minute tutorial on how to draw hair, and it's a really good way of teaching you some quite good techniques to get started with. So it's worth looking it up. The trouble I find with people that are struggling with smoothness, they're going straight in with this or this. They're missing all these steps. They're just going straight in. And, you know, as you layer, you should be going in a bit of a different direction just to help. But practice ovals. I can't stress that enough. I personally don't like circles unless I'm doing really teeny tiny areas. So this is circles, for example. Don't know if you can tell that they're circles. I think you can. Then you've got people who just go back and forth. Even then I find it really, really hard to be imperfect, but you can still see that it's got that back and forth. But if I work it, I'm going to show you a large oval. So this is the shape I work in. So by the time you've come back on yourself, so you can see the difference between that and that. And you can definitely see the difference between that and that. So personally, I prefer to work in ovals. So the more and more you practice, even if you just sat in front of the TV with a scrap bit of paper and a pencil, because the more you do it, it will literally turn into muscle memory. It's no different from using a knife and fork, riding a bike, learning to walk. It's exactly the same. So homework time, guys. Homework time. I did find out how to pronounce your names, but I'm going to forget. So it's Sus. That's probably wrong. I missed your question. Sorry. Patreon is still questionable in the future. I'm really not sure. I don't want to put any pressure on myself at the moment. But I would like to start Patreon up again. And I do think I've got more of an audience now for people who would get involved in the monthly tutorials. I think what was happening a little bit before was only 1 or 2 people were doing the tutorials, which isn't a problem because you can do it in your own time. But because of nobody sharing it or doing it or joining in or anything like that, it sort of died a death. And the enthusiasm sort of thing, I don't know, it just, but I mean, if there is enough interest from you guys for me to start the Patreon up again, I will, but it will only be studies like the hair studies and the eye studies, fur study, that type of thing. It won't be, it'll be, say come December, it'll be one final project at the end that we can work on. But I'm also thinking of offering a digital download version for my prints as well. So that is a possibility. So fingers crossed. Yeah, if you find you have achy hands, Daniel, it's definitely because you're pressing too hard. Definitely. No doubt about that. Sorry, I do like to waffle. I actually filmed a vlog today. Can you believe that? I was hoping to get it all done, but my sofa isn't the most particularly comfortable thing to sleep on, and I slept on it last night. And then after doing the kids' bedroom, so all in all, my body is screaming for a spa day. I did feel really, really, really bad. I can't even express how bad I felt shutting my Patreon down. I felt so guilty, like I was letting people down. And, you know, over the years, I've built such an amazing community with various artists and followers, and it's just been really, really lovely. So it felt absolutely horrible to shut it down. Oh, imposter syndrome really, really is a real thing. Most definitely. I'm definitely going to get the vlog up for you guys though, because I had the most amazing delivery today. Yeah. So it's a potential product for the future. Like, give me some Netflix recommendations, please, because I'm running out of things to watch. And the things I am watching, I've just got them on purposely for background noise, so they're not even really things I'm that interested in. So throw some recommendations my way. Yeah, no, that is true, Jules. I think we had probably 5 active people by the end of it. Yeah, so, you know, once normality sets in a little bit more, I'm hoping that, I think we're a year down the line for the wait list now for Madison's ADHD assessment. So I'm hoping that we can get something sorted out on that, so I can at least get a routine in at home, which means I can start recording again. Tribes of Europa. Not heard of that one. Oh, I've wiped out Superstore. That's done. Yeah, and working in retail for many years, I could really relate to a lot of that. It was quite funny to watch, actually. I do think it's coming back for another series. I don't know whether, when obviously COVID and everything hit, that's made a difference. But yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a nice, easy watch. Anime, I'm not such a massive fan. Emily loves it though. So any recommendations for her? You'll have to ping me some up in the group, because I know I'll end up forgetting. It's for ADHD. For her, I think we were told 2.5 years wait list down here. Obviously, it varies depending on where you are. Even from East Sussex to Kent will change. Hi Leslie, how are you? All the Studio Ghibli, most definitely. We've done all of them. I've been watching Bring It On Ghost. We finished that. That was actually really good. I might. I mean, I'm assuming she'll end up seeing the same community paediatrics that Amelie did. So I might look at contacting them. Right, where's the grey? There's the grey. Right, I'm going to tone it down now. And we're toning it down, and you'll see what I mean. Like, the green will suddenly just become like a dull green. Oh, the Bremont brothers have seen it as well. They've both commented. I forgot to post earlier, I think. Never mind. Mick and Giles, yeah, they've both seen it, so that's cool. Your bookmarks are here, ready, packed to go. Thank you, my lovely. You're always so amazing to me, you are. still missing something and I can't get around my head what it is. When I do stuff of this size, I really panic. When things are flat, when I'm doing flat things, detail I haven't got a problem with. Doing smooth stuff, that's on the list to do. So I might get started on that then. See, how long would I'm going to pick out Gary and Dan for this because you've both mentioned it. That's the only reason. Yeah, basically, Dan, basically. Yeah, and you're not that far from us, are you, Gary? It's very much like that. It's taken me how long just to do this portion? You know, we're close to coming up to an hour of just doing this bit. Look at Sales at Work. It's hilarious. Okay, what's it on? I'll find it on YouTube. Right, I need to go. Really need to get this shadow built in here. So, can I have a thumbs up, as it's probably the easiest emoji to find, or a heart, whatever's easiest, a heart or a thumbs up if you would like to see the Patreon open again. Hi Emily. Thank you, lovely. Friday night dinner, that doesn't ring a bell. How long did that take? We think she's got the inattentive ADHD. We're pretty sure because she's a spit of my sister and she's just been diagnosed. Yeah. Yeah, Maddie is really, really quiet and really sensitive. Really sensitive. I thought it was going to be an all-out punch-up yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't easy. She can't stand loud noises like anybody shouting, because we're not shouters in this house, but Amelie with her autism can be very shouty. And it's her instant go-to because she raises really quickly in her temper. Okay, so Patreon is essentially a monthly subscription. I set the subscription price, and for that subscription, say for example I charge £6, you would get a full tutorial that is not available anywhere else. So you get a full tutorial. So like the hair one, that was originally a Patreon tutorial. You would get a tutorial like that where I cover the pencils I'm using. I literally talk through, okay, I'm now using May Green. I'm now using Dark Indigo. I'm now using blah, blah, blah. And I would talk through the whole thing. And I would occasionally post some behind the scenes stuff, some reference photos people could use. Sort of a variety of bits and bobs, but you have access to tutorials that other people don't. It's like me in your living room giving you personal lessons, basically. Yeah, see, generally, Amelie's loud, but when she gets really cross and stubborn, her decibels just, and her Maddie, it just completely freaks her. Bless you, Emily. So the Patreons are really good if you are really serious about improving and, you know, being part of that community, I guess, because we share the work. We have a private Facebook group where you can share your work, ask questions. I will probably offer a critiquing tier, where if you paid, I don't know, extra couple of pounds a month, I would critique each month either the tutorial that you've done or another piece of work. I used to do one-on-ones, but I stopped that one. No, see, that's the thing at the moment, Dan. I totally get that. His elementary school never picked up on it. They always said he was just... Yeah, and that's the problem, because that's all they ever see it as. It's crazy, isn't it, when you end up having to self-diagnose most of the time? We knew that there was something going on with Madison, but we knew it wasn't autism because of Amelie, so we knew what we were looking for. And then when my sister got diagnosed, and my sister is 33, she sort of helped us pinpoint it, because she was looking after her one day and they were out and about, and she literally said she's exactly the same as me. And when we went through certain things, it's so true. So really, what, because of his skin? I know, they were good soaps, weren't they? I should have sold my recipe off. Are they getting... if they're getting really dry, make him some oat soaks and cabbage leaves. Don't forget the cabbage leaves, like we did on your hands. Right, I'm just going to get some texture in here, as it's basically the stitching from what I can see. Double paper going on here. Oh, for his ADHD. What do they want to put him on? I used to make soaps, by the way, if you're wondering what on earth we're talking about. I made a recipe specifically for people that suffered with psoriasis, and it was, without blowing my own trumpet, it was bloody amazing. Jules will tell you, because Jules had it so severe on her hand, and we managed to get it sorted out. Was very isolating. Yeah, she would rather spend the entire day on her own than be with company. She's very sensitive to stuff, gets upset very easily, and she apologises all the time. She literally apologised to me the other day, and I thought, you haven't done anything wrong, darling. It's really hard because you don't like to see them suffer. Right, I'm going to have to bring the black pencil out, I think. No, and that's the thing, isn't it? You know, if it's the school requesting it, it's because the school can't cope with it. If he'll tolerate it, Jules, yeah, do the cabbage wrap, and give him some oat soaks. He literally just has to sit there with his hands in a bowl. You don't have to give him a full. He might enjoy it though, but yeah, you don't have to give him the whole shebang, but it will probably help. Oh, they were such good soaps. I used to sell out of them all the time. I probably would have carried on if it wasn't for the licensing fees. I can't get this dark enough. It's driving me crazy. Probably not helping that light's in the way. Trying to figure out what's bugging me here. Something is not quite sitting. I need to step away from this bit for a bit because I think I've just been staring at it too long. So I'm just going to shade that bit in. If any of you feel like you need to vent in the group, please do. That group is there because we are a family. So, you know, if you need any relief or advice, it's not just for sharing your pretties. Yeah, it's a tough call with the medication because I think, you know your child best, and you know whether you can function or whether he can function or she. Yeah, you definitely know what's best. I always said that I would never put mine on medication if I was ever offered. I haven't been offered. But I guess in reality, if it didn't turn him into a zombie, I don't know if it makes their quality of life better. It's a really hard one to answer. Right, this line here is way too strong. Needs to be blended out much more than that. On. This is going completely the wrong way. Can you see how that looks like it's arched upwards? It's not. It's going in. So I need to really push that in the other direction. There we go. See, it's funny how just a little bit of a change can make a big difference. I have a pack in the kitchen by the coffee cup. I have a pack in here by where I sit on my desk, just so I've got no excuse to forget, but I always do. Yeah, absolutely, Leslie. It is a really, really tough thing. And you, thank you, Cookie. Um, how long would we are up to, including the hour that I'm going to spend on it today? I think I'm going to go till 9:30 as I'm in a bit of a flow at the moment. We are up to, this would be the 13th hour. 13, yeah, 13 and a half hours, something along those lines. Can you see now how that's curving inwards? That's what I mean when I always say the importance of knowing your darks and your lights. The watch alone, like the face of the watch and the strap, I think that took 9 hours in total. Okay, so that shows how much darker under here I need to be, because they're sort of getting lost. And in the reference, there's a little bit more of a pushback, although looking there, it's not too bad. You can't really see a huge amount of detail on your screen, but I'm just going to tone that down. What time are you? Oh no, you're Oh, Gary, you're self-isolating. Are we going to have a full 5 hours of Gary on our next live? I tell you what, I take my hats off to support workers, because you guys are fantastic. Amelie needs one. That's why she struggles a lot, but she's doing half days. The school have been really, really lovely, and they rang and said, how would you like to see the approach happening with her going back to school? So for the first week, we're going to work on half days, and then we're going to sort of let her lead, if that makes sense. So that's good. And I've legit never been so excited for them to be going back to school. I am dreading the bursts that I know we're going to have, but as long as I can keep her. "5 hours of the doodles." There we go, there we go. Okay. I think we need to add a new insult to the TikTok bingo. I got called a boomer a few times in the last live feed, which I found hilarious. Right, just need to make this look more curved, so I'm coming into the mesh section a little bit more. Just to make that look a bit more curved. I don't know whether it's the light making it look not as dark, but... Is it black just a sharker? Yeah, what, sharker? Oh, yeah, pretty much. Black doesn't exist in nature. I haven't I haven't used black on dulling it down. It was grey. It was grey. Okay. So I just need to get some more shading in this. At the moment it's too smooth and it needs a lot more texture. So I'm just going to add too green, too blue, I think. Let's add some more green. That's better. I feel like a paint mixer half the time trying to get these colours right. Emily's only got one more year and then we can hopefully get her into a specialised school, so that's going to really hopefully improve things. But I want to add some little highlight specks in here because it's very flat at the moment, so I'm going to get my beautiful little slice tool. Sometimes you can hear it if you shake it. If it's constantly breaking when you sharpen it, it's more than likely broken all the way through. But you can't, there's no way of telling how far along the pencil it is that it's broken. So night, Mike. There we go. There we go. I might even add a few in here actually. Get some brighter bits happening. Learn to cook. Yeah, start watching some cookery shows. Do some baking. Enjoy. You said you've been really tired. Just enjoy the fact that, you know, hopefully, you know, as long as your wife isn't suffering, because I swear, honestly, if she gets the rash, you need to get somebody to get her some Piriton because it is horrendous. So just, as I say, keep an eye on that. Okay, so I think overall it's looking a lot more textured and This isn't black I'm using, by the way. This is dark indigo. It's not even that, actually. It's Payne's grey. Oh dear. Arteza are really soft, so they can be prone to breaking, just like Prismacolor. Because they're so soft, they're very prone to break. See, the folds of the fabric are starting to really come together now. Yeah, but if they've been dropped in transit, but they can break quite easily. Even if you, I'm not going to do it with mine, but even if they had a bit of a shake, that shake is enough vibration of splitting the pencils. But more than likely, because I know how parcels are treated in the depot, more than likely it's been dropped in transit or just not taken care of. How many are doing it? Was this your favourite bit, Dan? I can't remember now. Was it you that said you hate it on the edges? Yeah, you can actually, Daniel. That's a very valid point. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. You can just microwave them for, although I suppose, are they foil? I can't think of what's on the, we'll just put them onto a radiator. Radiator's actually probably safer, because I don't know what their printing is on the, it's silver, isn't it? So it's probably some sort of foil. Oh dear, I don't know why that came to mind. Something came to mind I probably shouldn't share. Yeah, radiator. I would do radiator. I'm glad you brought that up, Gary, actually. Dan, because I forgot about that. Yeah, see, we're on the same wavelength. Oh my god. English me no do today. I'm not very good. Trying to figure out if if these are under or over. So I think these, we're going to do these as the under. Pretty sure I can hear my cat on my kitchen top licking the plates. Right, stitching I'm just going to leave negative space for. Oh, that works well, doesn't it? Dee Dee! Dee Dee! Dee Dee! She's stopped. It's definitely Dee Dee. My mind is wandering. Yes, I can hear your Tinkerbell. They really are. It's because we had bacon earlier, and because I fell asleep, didn't do the washing up, and she's out there licking the plates clean. So that's nice. Shadow's too strong. Too strong. Let's just get the green in. Dee Dee is just doing the washing up, exactly. Earning her keep. Super pointy. Oh, that's going to be a fun job. I did that with Odin, and I now have a scar in my arm from where he hooked his back claw in, and instead of retracting his claws, he jumped and ripped my skin out. So that was really pleasant. So have fun. One less job. Comes to something where I'm starting to eat the herbs and spices cover. I'm staring. Oh, bless you. Order a takeaway, my lovely. Give yourself a break. Stitching might need to be... Oh no, that's not looking too bad actually. I thought it might be a bit too slim, but I think we might get away with that. Yeah, that's fine. Love doing stitching. There's something so satisfying about seeing it suddenly turn 3D, especially on watch straps. It's quite fun doing it on watch straps. Cool. Happy with that. Yeah, that one. Oh, bless him. Of course he has. I forgot about that. I still haven't been able to bring myself around to draw my old cats. I will one day, but... going to need to bring the black in, I think. Showed my husband, he's amazed. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you, husband. Yeah, that, I mean, that alone, and I know I'm going to sound really square now, but that alone is enough to get really excited about pencil. The fact that you can turn, exactly like you said, a flat patch of colour into something that then suddenly looks 3D just by adding some light and shade. Oh, have a good night. Sleep tight. I can't wait to start on this wolf. I'm itching now, and I'm itching to start the giraffe. Oh, Leslie, if you're still here, you're going to love the giraffe. Okay, now we've just got to tone that down a bit. Coffee Man is home. He's really tired at the moment. He's on 2 days early shift, but he much prefers lates. The trouble is he's doing like 3 weeks worth of lates, and then all of a sudden he's doing earlies. So he's up at 4:30 in the morning, and then he doesn't get home until roughly 4 in the afternoon. And we both fell asleep on the sofa to the kids playing on the computer. So they were playing on the Switch. I think he's playing his game at the moment. He much prefers doing late shifts rather than early shifts. So you know the tiger I did, Leslie? It's going to be a giraffe in the same colours. So I'm really looking forward to starting that. I might work on the wolf and the giraffe simultaneously. I have to be tested at 8 AM tomorrow. Oh no, you're joking. Yeah, it is. And sometimes you only have 1 day off in between, so it can be a bit of a big adjustment, especially when you're doing 3 weeks. I'm pretty happy with that colour. In fact, that colour is the colour that the gloves should be, I think. It's not perfect to the reference, but I am honestly not splitting hairs over this. This colour I'm using now came in the Luminance 20 Portrait set. I just love Luminance for blending. Thank you, Leslie. Yes, I have. So the background will be done using pan pastels. I did the last background for him in pan pastels, and it actually worked really, really well because it's got to be out of focus. Do you know what? I might blend over the whole lot with this. Because it's got to be out of focus, it's a really good way of doing it without struggling. I ideally want to keep it purely pan pastel, but if I need to add a bit of pencil on top, then I will, but I'll judge that sort of as we go. There we go. Right, might as well do the last bit and then call it there, I guess. Just do this little bit down here. It is going, okay, I actually thought he was having it, but I know that he's ordered a print. So I don't know whether he's keeping the original, which I'm guessing he is, and the print is going in the Melbourne. Yeah, I'd love a Joe, actually. I'll probably be about another 20 minutes, if that. Okay. It's going in the Melbourne boutique. How cool is that? So he's already arranged for the print to be hung up in the boutique. So that's really, really cool. He really is an absolute sweetheart, and he's almost like a bit of a proper true fan in that sense. You know, this is his 4th portrait he's had from me, not of this size, but and I mean, he's had them drawn for his friends as gifts, the little 4x4 ones. I know, it is so cool, isn't it? He does look like an invisible man, you're right. Oh dear. He's the invisible man. It's a good song, that. I do like a bit of Queen. Thank you, my lovely. Did you wake up wondering where everyone had gone?
No, from pain.
Pain? Because you laid funny.
Yeah.
It's not the most comfortable sofa, is it? I personally don't like blender pencils. The one time I did use it, I actually messed up my tiger tongue, and I thought I couldn't retrieve it. I had to rub off so much of the pencil just to try and get rid of all the blending side of stuff. Whether that is a ignorance on my part, because I don't know, maybe I wasn't using it right, but I personally think, okay, so this is the dilemma. I like drawing realism, but I like you to be able to see it's done by pencil. And I think when you use blending solutions and blending pencils and things like that, it almost takes that away. So it loses its essence. I know that sounds really weird. But I like the fact that I can get it smooth, but I can still see some pencil detail. Oh, he had a mouthful of bread. Eating a bit of brown bread. Blending Solutions Karen Dash have confirmed that if you use I've just a brick. What the hell was that? Oh, rubbish. I just put my heart back in my chest. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Blending Solutions. Karen Dash have confirmed that Blending Solutions alter the archival quality of your pencils. So a bit like watercolour, you're essentially not dulling down, that's not the right word. You're diluting the colour, so you're thinning the pigment in the pencil, so essentially it's no longer as archival as it should be, which makes complete sense. Plus they haven't confirmed, or I haven't heard anything anyway, but they haven't confirmed what it does to the paper. But ideally you shouldn't be using blending solutions until you're 3 or 4 layers up anyway. I probably wouldn't recommend it in colouring books because the paper's so thin. You have some really serious pencil skills though, Benita. Oh, bless you, Leslie. Thank you. I need to hear that right now. It sounds really pathetic, but I am having a proper, I'm really not as good as people maybe think I am right now. I don't know. Self-doubt creeping in. I don't know, I just see other people and I think, oh my God, that's just so much better than I can do. And I always tell people not to compare, and I just sit there and do it myself. But I try not to compare because I don't always do things similar to everybody else. It's not like you can have a direct comparison. Yeah, honestly, imposter syndrome sucks. Bless you, Georgina. Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Without the pencil detail, it's like you're trying to make people think it's a photo and not a drawing. Yeah, and I mean, there are, you know, I think we forget that we're not seeing something close up either. So something can look really smooth, whether it's used solutions or not solutions, because you're not literally sat right in front of it, and you're never going to sit there with a drawing and be like that unless you are inspecting it. It's always going to be hung on a wall, and you know, you're at least 2 foot away, 2-3 feet away. So, oh bless you, Jules, thank you. You have been good to me too, honestly. Yeah, cameras don't do work any justice. Leslie will tell you, because she's actually got a few of my pieces. Yeah, they don't do it justice at all. That's too green. Leslie's actually been to a couple of my drawing classes as well, so that was really cool. Why have I suddenly lost my green? That wasn't the green, surely. It must have been. I'm losing plot now. Okay, so we've been live almost 2 hours. I said I was only going to do an hour, but actually I'm in the flow, so I'm not going to stop for the sake of it. So we are officially 14 hours in. I'm trying to make a note of it because everyone asks me how long I've spent on it, and I never really take notes. I just do it. 14 hours. I will finish at 10 o'clock. Oh, bless you, Daniel. You really don't have to, my lovely. You're so good to me. I'll tell you what, TikTok is probably one of the best moves I've made. I've met some incredible people on there. Met some real nasty ones too, but there's some pretty amazing people on there. There we go, there we go. Right, don't forget the 12th, I'm on the Colour Me Happy show. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that actually, but I am. So if you want to come join us, it'll be on the Crafters Companion TV, on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. You've taught me so much these past weeks, Bon. Aww. Can we have a group hug? Group hug. Hug, hug. Right, I'm going to zoom out. That actually looks quite a lot better than I thought it was going to. Let me get you in focus, that would help. There you go. I'm wanting the deer. The deer? Oh, what, the stag, the pastel one I did. Yeah, that's up. I don't even know if I've put that as a print, have I? Bless you. Bless all of you. Right, I will be live on TikTok tomorrow. I know not all of you have it, and I don't expect anybody to be there, but I'm just letting you know should you want to join, that I will be on the old tickety talk. Don't know what time yet, but we're getting there. I think that needs to be a bit darker, but I think I'm going to wait until that warms up. Right, my lovelies, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been a lovely nearly 2 hours spent. I hope the missus is going to be okay, Gary, and hopefully you won't get it too bad either, but fingers crossed for you both. For the family in general, actually. But don't forget we're in the group if you want to come and share any of your work, and don't be embarrassed, please, because we have the most amazing group of people in our group. They may not always be around to respond and comment, but yeah, don't be afraid to share. Honestly, they're a really, really nice bunch. Yes, Dan? Well, you know, Gary, you've got so much to do now. You've got so many recipes to learn. I don't know how you're going to find the time. Gordon Ramsay better be careful. Bye, Georgina. Bye, Leslie. Bye, Jules. Did I miss Jo going? I know she sometimes leaves a bit earlier. Might be worth you popping me a message, Dan, actually, if you want. I'll start shutting stuff down while I'm waiting for your message to come through. I'm so tired. Why is my monetization off? I will need to change that. Pop me a message down if you want. Thank you, Emily. I hope everyone does well, and I'll see you wherever I see you. Take care, guys.